everyone, welcome back to Grow Kit. We're about halfway through May now. Things are really starting to grow now. We've got lots of flowers on things and buds coming out all over the place. Stuff's really starting to take off. The weather's not been too great. We've had a lot of heavy thundery showers and just loads of rain through May, whereas April was pretty much all dry. But it's not too bad. Plants don't seem to mind it too much. So today's video I'm just going to show you a few of my favourite plants. It's not going to be a full tour, but we're just going to have a little pot around the veg garden and the greenhouse, and I'm going to show you a few of my favourite things that I've got growing this year, like the tomatoes and the peppers, because we've got little peppers and little tomatoes starting to form, so I thought I'd show you them, and a few other bits and bobs. So if you want to join me today, that'd be absolutely great. So I thought I'd just show you, these are two of my tomato plants. These are really early ones that I planted in January. And so I thought I'd show you these, because if you can see there, these are my first tomatoes of the year developing here. See, there's about 3 or 4 there starting, and there's more flowers ready to be pollinated. So every now and then I'll just give them a flick just to make sure they're pollinated. And I want to show you these as well. These are sweet peppers, the bell peppers, and if you can see there, this one here's started getting some fruit on it, so that's good. So we've got 2 little peppers there. Alright, there's another little one there. So there's 3 little peppers on that one. Nothing on these ones yet. I've been taking the flowers off of some of these because I want it to grow a bit bigger first. But from now on I'm going to leave the flowers now that the weather's warmed up. You can see all these new buds coming through here. So you can just leave them alone. They'll be fine, but you'll find that most of the first flowers will just fall off anyway without developing, because it's not warm enough. There's another little one there developing. So I'm hoping for some peppers this year. And this is another one of my tomato plants. This was my second sowing. This is the only one I got from my second sowing. And I've done 4 sowings of tomatoes so far, because I'm trying to do a lot of successional sowing this year to space out the harvests rather than getting a bumper harvest all at once. So I've got the 2 tomatoes from my first sowing. This one from my second, which is about a month behind the first one. And as you can see, this one here is doing well. Starting to get some flowers on it. This is a cherry type, so the majority of these suckers, this is what we call a sucker, is essentially a new branch for the plant, which will produce flowers and fruit. But in the UK, majority of the time people will say to pull them off, but that's mainly for the bigger tomatoes. With the cherry tomatoes, you can let them go. That's what I plan on doing anyway. I might take a few of them off, but most of them I'll leave to grow. Okay, so this is my 3rd sowing of tomatoes that I've done this year. Again, these are about another month behind, so just goes to show how fast they do grow. The variety, this one's called Ildi, and this is little tiny yellow tomatoes. So again, I won't be removing the side shoots on these, but these are doing quite well. They've been in the greenhouse. I actually germinated these in the greenhouse. The first 2 sowings I germinated indoors because it was too cold in the greenhouse. But these ones are doing well as well. and they will need repotting pretty soon, but they're okay in here for a little bit longer. So normally when I start seeing loads of roots coming out the bottom, I'll repot, but you can more or less tell the plant will start suffering when it needs repotting. Okay, and I thought I'd show you my latest sowing of the tomatoes. So I've tried 4 different varieties. This is my latest sowing, so this is only a few weeks ago. So I went for the Ildi again, which is the little tiny yellow ones. The Roma VF, which is a sort of standard red plum tomato. The red cherry, which is the little cherry tomatoes you get in the shop. But you'll tell the difference. These have been much nicer than the ones you get in the shop. And I also went for the Tigerella, which is a standard size stripy red tomato. So this compost I've got, I keep getting this mould appear, this algae. It doesn't seem to affect the plants too much, so I'm not too worried. And as long as I get 1 in each pot, I'll be happy. Something's come in and had a little munch on that one, but this one here is perfectly fine, so that one will be just pulled out anyway at some point. Okay, and these here are onions. So my plan for these, I've grown 4 in each pot, and my plan for these is to plant these out as a clump of 4 and see how they go. This was something I saw Charles Dowding do in one of his videos, and he had good results, so I thought I'd give that a go this year. I'm not going to do all of mine like that, so I've got 5 or 6 clumps to do, and I've also sown a little pot here, and these ones I will prick out individually and space them out as normal, and that way we'll be able to compare the difference. But these are all doing really well, thickening up nicely now, so these really need to go out soon. So we'll be getting them in the ground soon. And I thought I'd try watermelon again this year. So these are Sugar Baby watermelons. These are very small, very sweet, round watermelons. These have been sort of bred specifically for slightly cooler climates. Ordinarily you wouldn't be able to grow a watermelon in the UK, but these have, I don't know if they've been engineered or just bred that way, but they seem to grow okay in the UK. But they grow quite slowly until it heats up, then they will really speed up. So we really need a good summer for these. But I thought I'd give them a go, so we'll see how these do. And these here are my cucumbers for the year. I've only done 1 sowing of cucumber this year. I did 2 different varieties. These are both Lidl seeds. This one was Vorgen something or other, German name. So I've got 3 out of them germinated, 3 out of 3. And the other ones here were Chinese Slangin. I haven't labelled these, but I remember what they are, because they're the only other type of cucumber I've got growing. So these seem to grow faster, and I mean they're looking relatively healthy. A few of the leaves are starting to yellow a little bit, but that's probably due to the nighttime drop in temperature, but I'm hoping they'll be okay. So we've got the 2 types of cucumber. If I wanted to, now is a good time to put another sowing of cucumber in, so I may do that soon. Okay, so this is my raspberry canes. These are grown in a pot. Ideally they need to be in the ground, but you can grow them in pots, as you can see. So last year I only left 4 canes to grow in this pot, and I've done the same this year. So I take out all the other canes and I only leave the 4 best looking ones. The green ones are the new ones, so there's another one behind there. I leave the 4 nicest looking canes for next year, and these brown ones are the ones I left last year, and hopefully we'll get some nice raspberries on here this year. We've got plenty of flowers. These are what will turn into the raspberries. So that's my raspberry canes. I think the variety was Glen Glover or something like that. So this is one of my currant bushes. I've got red and black currant growing. I'm never sure which one is which. I really must label them on you. So these are grown in pots as well. So you can basically grow anything in pots if the pot's big enough and you can keep it watered and fed. So this is a currant bush, and we've got lots of little currants starting to grow here. So this is looking like we should get a relatively decent harvest off of this year. So I did cut this back quite hard last year because I am trying to keep it relatively small in the pot. I don't want it going too crazy until I can get it in the ground at some point. But it's covered in berries at the moment. So the next thing to do is to, just before they start ripening, I will need to protect them from the birds because they do like the currants. But looks like we're in for a good harvest on the currant bushes. And all these planters here are all full of strawberry plants. These all came from 3 plants that I bought originally, and every year I've saved some of the runners. So the bigger plants are the originals, and these smaller ones here are the runners from last year. And as you can see, we've got plenty of flowers coming through on these. So each flower will be a strawberry. So by the looks of it, at the moment we're in for a good strawberry harvest. I have noticed a few of them have got the black spots in the middle. This just means that this particular flower is not going to develop because the frost's got it. So you can pick them off or you can just leave them. It won't make much difference. But we've got plenty coming through. And this year I'm not going to save any runners, so if I see any runners I'll just take them off so that the plant puts the energy into flowering. I keep seeing these ants all over everything. They don't seem to do much harm. I think they're after the nectar from the blossom, from the pollen, from the flowers. So we won't bother killing them or anything, just leave them be. And along here in the ground I've got loads of garlic. There's about 60 plants there altogether, and a few down this side here are onions. So there's a couple of different sowings of garlic. You can see these 2 rows here are a lot smaller, so they're about 3 months behind the first lot, but the first lot's starting to thicken up nicely now. So these are probably ready July time. I put these in the ground October and November time last year, and these went in the ground January, I think. So they're a bit behind, but hopefully that will mean we have 2 nice harvests this year. And there's a few onions in here from the little ones that I grew last year. I just put these in the ground kind of like sets, and so far so good. Just noticed a seed head starting to form on this one, so that one may be no good, so I'll take that off. Hopefully I got it quick enough. And some of these ones are starting to thicken up a bit. Okay everyone, so that's about it for today. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. So we just had a little walk around and I updated you on a few things here and there. As I said, not a full tour, but just showed you the best bits that I've got growing this year. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and if you could subscribe, that'd be absolutely great, and leave a like on the video, and feel free to leave a comment. So if you've got any suggestions for my next video, any ideas for me, or any comments, just feel free to leave a comment down below, and I'll try to reply to all of the comments. I might miss one every now and then, so I'm sorry about that if I do miss yours, but I do try to reply to all the comments, so feel free to leave a comment. So thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Hope you all have a great week. See you later.